Hey guys, my name is John King. I want to personally welcome you here to Footinthedoor.io, where I am super honored to be a part of this with Stuart Trier and Stephen King as we join forces to help provide really valuable data and information to you guys that not only beginners can apply to their business, but also those of you who are intermediate and considered a enterprise level SEO agency. With that said, my first entry here at Foot in the Door, I want to touch base and just kind of cover some things about something I consider super close to my heart, which is cold email. If you've been following some of the things I talk about within lead stacking or SEO Signals Lab, you already know that I love cold email because cold email legitimately accounts for 90% of the recurring revenue that we have at our agency. So with that said, I'm super excited to show you what we're doing, what we did when we first started, and how we legitimately got our first enterprise client for $10,500 a month on one of my very first cold emails. I'll show you what I did to do that. More than a year and a half later, they're still paying. So these aren't clients who necessarily are going to just pay 1 month and leave the next. They're people who have real opportunities to be a long-term contract. So with that being said, let's jump over to my whiteboard, and then after the whiteboard, we'll jump on the screencast and we'll take a look at a few tools that are both free and very cheap to use if you decide that you want to go a route of paying for a tool itself for cold email. Let's get to it. So I see quite a few people within several different Facebook groups that are asking about different tools they use for cold email, how to manage email sending. Should they use G Suite? Should they use an email account using cPanel or some other web hosting service? And there's a lot of different answers to those. With that said though, let me give you some ideas and suggestions on how to go about finding tools to use for cold email and what type of email accounts to use and possible limits to consider when sending emails. So the first thing that I want to point out to you tool-wise for cold email is this. So the first thing that I want to recommend is that you use G Suite for your cold emailing. If you are going about cold emailing and you're sending thousands of emails per day, G Suite is not the tool for you. However, there's plenty of people online who will sit here and say that cold email is not a good strategy for their business. And 60% of the time it's because they're literally sending thousands of unsolicited emails that aren't properly prospected and they're getting no responses. So if your prospecting isn't on point, then of course your cold email is not going to work very well. Gmail is nice, or using G Suite is nice because one, you can use your own brand. So for instance, I have John K at placementseo.com. I send cold emails every day using that. And I also use that email address to work with my clients and to collaborate with clients and so forth. So there's been no risk necessarily of my email getting suspended. There's people who ask about if you have to warm your IPs up. If you're using a cPanel server to go and create email accounts and send emails, the answer is yes. You need to warm them up and stage your volume of sending up in tiers. So like for instance, today you start off with 100, tomorrow is 150, the next day is 200, and you keep working your way up. But with G Suite, there's some hard limits. And what I recommend is no more than 400 emails per hour. Okay? And then if you're using your actual business email, so if your name is Trevor and it's trevor@google.com and you're using that email address to cold email your prospects, I would honestly keep it more so to like 100. And the reason is because if you're using your personal business email address to send cold emails, you want to make sure that you've got plenty of email allocations to be able to contact your own clients. I have suspended my business email before, once. It took me a whole day to fix it. That's when I figured out that 400 an hour was the official limit for G Suite. Now, that also means that if you want to send more than 400 an hour and you somehow get to that point, you can create more than one G Suite email address. I believe an email address is $5 a month. So if you wanted to send 1,200 emails, you would pay $15 a month between 3 different emails. Hope that makes sense. So as far as sending emails, what to use, be it your own email server or be it G Suite, I 100 recommend G Suite. Now, tools for managing the actual email sending, the first one I want to recommend is this. So the first tool that I want to recommend as far as actually sending those emails is a tool called Mail Merge, or better yet is Yet Another Mail Merge. You can see that here on the screen. Yet Another Mail Merge is fantastic because it integrates beautifully with Google Sheets. And as you can see on my screen right now, if you're using Google Sheets, you can prospect certain information about the contacts that you're trying to reach out to about your services. MailMerge has a free plan, which I believe the free plan is 150 emails per day. And then if you pay for it, I forget how much it is right off the top of my head for an annual subscription, but I think it's no more than $100 a year. I can tell you that. I know that for a fact. But the paid plan is 1,500 emails per day. So this is a great tool. It's actually a Google Sheet add-on. So it's a great tool to install for free. It's super simple to figure out. It gives you the ability to start your cold email sequencing for free. And then if you begin having some success and want to step up to a paid plan, you can do so realistically. The next tool that I recommend for sending emails. Mailshake is probably my most favorite tool to actually go out and send emails. And it does a couple of things. Number one, what Mailshake does is it allows you to prospect everybody that you want into a single spreadsheet that's a CSV file. So if you open up a Google Sheet so that you have a cloud collaboration opportunity, you can make 500 rows of prospects, download that Google Sheet as a CSV file, and then upload it to Mailshake, and it'll parse all of your data out, and it'll email every single one on a set schedule that you specify. Now, Mailshake does not have a free plan. Mailshake is $19 a month, but you can send unlimited. And you can have unlimited email addresses. Okay, so this is how MailMerge and Mailshake stand out. MailMerge has a free opportunity at 150 emails per day sending allocation, but if you want to pay for it, it's less than $100 a year for 1,500 emails per day. The only limitation to MailMerge is the fact that you can only use one email account. So if you have Trevor@google.com, only that one email can work with this subscription or with this free quota. Moving it down to Mailshake, if you take on that $19 a month, this not only is MailMerge on steroids, but you can send for $19 a month unlimited emails per day, and you can add unlimited email accounts. So for instance, if you had Trevor at Google, you had Chris at Google, you had Stephanie at Google, you could use all three under your Mailshake premium account to send different emails, which helps you go by their guidelines of 400 emails per hour. The other thing I like about Mailshake is you also can build unlimited follow-ups. Follow-ups are extremely critical to the success of cold email. MailMerge allows a follow-up. So a follow-up example, let's say that I email you. My name is John, I own an SEO company, do you want to work with me? You don't respond. I would have scheduled a follow-up to go out 3 days later that says, hey man, I messaged you 3 days ago, I asked you if you want to work with me. Okay, Mailshake will let you send follow-ups as many times as you want over a day stretch period. So you can have follow-up 1 on day 3, follow-up 2 on day 5, follow-up 3 on day 10, and just literally build them out until they finally respond. Now, the other cool thing about that is that with Mailshake and your follow-ups, if somebody responds to one of your follow-ups, so say that you've sent them a third follow-up, they finally email you back, it kicks them off of the sequence, so they won't continue to get automated follow-ups. Another reason why I love and was a power user of Mailshake. MailMerge allows you to do follow-ups, but it's a lot more of a manual process. You have to log into the sheet in Google, and you have to tell MailMerge to follow up with people who either did open your emails and didn't respond, or who responded. So again, free alternative, a bit more manual process, a cheap paid alternative for $19 a month, and technically it's automating your entire cold email process. You're just doing the prospecting. So these are the two tools that I recommend hands down for sending emails with G Suite. Please do note that MailMerge does not work whatsoever outside of a G Suite email address. Mailshake does, however. Okay, so if you're not using G Suite, you need to be using Mailshake if you want to use a tool for sending emails. But if you're using G Suite, you get the two different options. Okay, so in the next segment that I want to cover are some prospecting tools and considerations to make when you're actually looking to start cold emailing people. You will never be successful with cold email marketing for your business, especially if you're in SEO, if you are not doing the correct prospecting. There's a couple of different tools out there that you can use as an agency owner to go help yourself prospect for the right clients to reach out to through cold email. As I told you in the beginning of this video, I was going to share with you how I got my first client that paid more than $10,000 a month and who's still with us to this day. And believe it or not, and this is kind of unrelated to this entire video, but this will give you an idea of where you can do some prospecting that'll be very fruitful for your business. Crazy, right? Craigslist. Yeah, you read that right. There's no typo there. Craigslist was where I got my very first enterprise client to sign on with our agency over at Placement SEO, who pays at least $10,500 a month. This month was actually 15, so it scales up and down. With that being said, not to be braggish, I want to prove to you that you can find heavyweight clients in the least suspected places. Craigslist. I took the ad on Craigslist and I cold emailed them from Craigslist, but I did it in a different way. So first and foremost, for those of you who are sitting here going, how the heck did you find a client like that on Craigslist? Keep in mind that people post for marketing help all the time in the gig section of Craigslist. And how many cities are there a Craigslist page for, right? You have thousands and thousands and thousands of cities, not just in America, but tens of thousands worldwide that have gigs sections associated with their town. And in populations at least 50,000 or more, you'll find that people are asking for SEO help. And that's a great place to start prospecting. However, do not do this. Do not, under any circumstance, reply to the Craigslist email. Everybody knows that when somebody posts on Craigslist, Craigslist will mask their real email address and give you a reply to Craigslist address instead. If you reply to those, you might get a response, okay? But for me, I totally avoided them. The reason is because everybody is spamming it. So with that said, if somebody's posting on Craigslist, they're serious about getting some marketing help, they're going to tell you what their business is. And that's all you need in order to find what their real names are and what their real emails are. So keep that in mind. So if you have a Craigslist ad that says, hey guys, I live in Tucson, Arizona, I'm looking for some help with my candle business, candlebright.com, possibly looking to hire an SEO, message me if you're available. Well, people will naturally respond through the Craigslist response email, but since you got their company name, candlebright.com, you have a website to go to and prospect to figure out who to reach out to. And then you can say, hey Carrie, I saw your ad on Facebook, but I wanted to personally reach out to you to your actual email address. Let me know if you have some time to talk. That kind of prospecting is way better. So with that being said, what tools can you use to find their emails that are realistic, either free or very, very cheap? And the first one is this. The very first tool that I started using as a prospector for our business was Footinthedoor.io. Not only is it super easy to use, it's a Chrome extension, has a free version, and the paid version is very affordable and gives you plenty of searches for emails. And it works extremely, extremely well on LinkedIn. With that being said though, it's not just limited to LinkedIn. You can go to somebody's website and run it, and it'll pull all their emails to their website and tell you the likelihood of it being verified or a general hit or miss email. Really cool tool, works in real time, works very fast. But if you want to step up your game, I recommend this tool. An email finder is great because not only does it have the power like Footinthedoor.io to find emails, but you can also search for them in bulk. And also, they have a $10 a month plan for, I think it's maybe 150 or 200 emails. But the even better part is this, compared to Footinthedoor.io. The deficiency with Footinthedoor.io is that when you're prospecting emails, whenever you click on find email, you use a credit, whether or not your return results or not. When you use an email finder, it only takes in your credits if it finds you a verified email. So it's a really cool deal. An email finder allows you to go into a spreadsheet, add millions of URLs into it, and then upload that bulk spreadsheet to an email finder, and it'll spit out every email associated with that website and tell you by ranking which emails are most likely to work. To make it even more accurate, you can upload a list of domains, and then right next to the domains, upload a name of the person that you're after, and it will look specifically for their email address. So you can niche it down pretty quick when you're looking for somebody's direct email address, and it's super cheap. So I totally recommend Emailfinder.com if you have a little bit of money to spend. Footinthedoor.io is your free solution. Now, both of these work great, but how do you further your campaign on fighting bounce rates? And here's the tool that I would recommend for that. Never Bounce is a fantastic method of bulk uploading email addresses and running them through their verification service to make sure that they're legit and valid. Now you might be asking, if you pair up or if you're buying into any email finder, don't they have their own verification service? And they do. However, because I use, like I mentioned before, G Suite to send my cold emails, I like to double down and be sure that I'm running a clean list of emails. So I pair up an email finder with Never Bounce and get really great results. A great result would be out of 1,000 emails, maybe only 40 or 45 actually bounce. Okay, so that means that all the other ones get delivered, and then we'll have to start talking about open rate optimization and things like that. Really awesome tool, super cheap. I think you can verify 10,000 emails for like $5 or like $10. It's extremely realistic when using it as a back burner method of making sure that your emails are really, really solidified. So now what I want to talk to you about real fast is what makes a good copy when you email your prospects, and also the job titles that you want to go for. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Cold email copies and the way that you're actually targeting your prospect is super critical to the success of your overall cold email campaign. And this is going to be the last point of our video today, but something that is very much so worthwhile taking a look at into the greater cause of why you're cold email marketing in the first place. So, for example, your cold email copies, okay? One suggestion that I have, probably my number one thing to give you as far as copies, is that in your first initial copy, you never sell yourself. Instead of actually selling yourself, why don't you make it their idea to contact you instead? And you're probably sitting back there and thinking to yourself, how do you accomplish that when you're the one contacting them in the first place? And that's easy. If you email them and you ask them to hop on the phone, but you don't give them an opportunity to decide on your service or not before they get on the phone with you, what do you think is going to happen? Your chances of increasing your open and response rate and your appointment setting rates will increase dramatically. The one example I can give you is, hey Stacy, my name is John, and I was browsing through your site and realized that a lot of your customers are flocking over to your competitors, and I found out why. I'd like to show you how to fix this for free. And that immediately gets their attention. It doesn't tell them that you're part of SEO or that you're PPC or whatever. It tells them that, hey, I found something with your website that's worth looking at. I'm going to show you how to do it for free. And that's going to pique their interest to where they want to open your email, they want to respond to it, and hopefully they want to connect with you on the phone. And then that's when you can begin your pre-selling and begin your actual sales process itself. So with that being said, just keep that in mind. Remember, if you send an email, how many emails do you see from people that are like, hi, my name is John, I'm from Placement SEO, I'm an SEO expert in your industry, here's how I want to help you. I want to help you generate leads, show up in the organic search, and increase your bottom line. How many times do you see that? That literally gives your prospect an opportunity to decide on your service right off the bat without even talking to you. And if you don't agree with this, you can sell so much better on the phone. Okay, if you can get them on the phone, you have a way higher probability of making a sale than you do through just cold email copy. So you want to promote them getting on the phone before they even know really what you're doing specifically. Law, dental, real estate, and other. These are the 4 different things I want to cover real fast as far as prospecting. How many times have you cold called somebody and you get a secretary and it's like, hi, my name is Steven, I want to talk to the owner, yada yada. And they're like, oh, the owner's busy, but the owner's probably over there playing Xbox or something. Or you send an email and it goes to a secretary or somebody who's not a decision maker, and they're like, yeah, we'll pass on your email, and then it just goes to trash. We got to get around that, okay? So with that said, no matter the industry target, I don't care how niche down you are, if it's super, super niche down, you need to be contacting the decision maker, okay? So let me real fast draw out what the decision maker job titles look like for these different industries. As I mentioned before at the beginning of the segment, figuring out who you're prospecting and making sure your emails are going to that decision maker is super key. And also keep in mind, back to the very beginning of the video, follow-ups are where your responses come from. So even if you're prospecting the decision maker, it still takes a follow-up or 2 or 3 to get a response out of them. But if you're emailing the right person, especially that decision maker, they'll tell you yes or no. They usually don't just let follow-ups go without being answered. So with that being said, let's run through these real fast. Law, if you're targeting law, your number one prospect is going to be a partner, okay? Somebody who owns a legal law firm, be it that they're a small-time guy or that they're a bigger law agency, it's going to be partner or partner owner. And on their website, it will tell you who their partners are. So you already have a leg up in trying to figure out who to prospect and email directly. Dental, doctor, partner, owner, doctor being the best bet. By the way, when you write your email copies, like I said before, don't sell yourself in the first copy, but you always address your prospect by doctor. So if you're contacting somebody named Miller, Mr. Miller, you will address them as Dr. Miller. As they're respecting, they will appreciate it and take you more seriously. If you can't find a doctor, look for a partner. If you can't find a partner, look for an owner. These are the 3 things that we look at in the dental outreach process. Real estate's a really big one. Broker is the number one person in the office. A broker is essentially somebody who oversees all the real estate agents in their office. They own the broker. And then if you can't find a broker, you're after the owner. So usually what happens is that if somebody's listed as an owner, it'll be owner/broker. Okay? And then if you can't find those, look for a partner. And if you can't find that, just use a real estate agent. Might be this right here if they're a 1-person office. Okay? But if they have 3 or more real estate agents, guarantee you there's a broker. That's who you need to be looking for when you're outreaching to real estate. This applies for residential. This applies for commercial. And then over here's other. Of course, there's so many things out there, okay? And I only have so much room on my whiteboard and so much time to visit in the video. But with other, really anything else, you always want to make sure you're looking for the owner or some kind of executive, okay? If you can't find one of these 3 for the niches that you're after, because this is owner or executive. Doctors are considered executives if they own the business. Broker is an executive of the real estate business, and the owner, founder, executive. If you're not emailing one of these 3, which applies across the entire board, you're really honestly wasting your time. And an email finder will help you find those people, so will Footinthedoor.io. It'll just take a little bit of grind, but you can also hire a virtual assistant to help you out with that. The number one place I go for VAs is onlinejobsph.com. Upwork is my second bet, which honestly is very, very low standard compared to online jobs. And then you have freelancer.com, which I haven't used in forever. So guys, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to hear back from you in these emails. I would love to hear back from you in the groups. And if you have something that you would like one of us 3 here at Foot in the Door to cover, please, by all means, let us know and we'll do our best to cover it. Thanks so much for being a part of this, and I hope that today you receive something that you call value.